Like 2 minutes past, but whatever.
We've already gone off the rails.
No one's watching anyway. It's just
there's rails
talking amongst ourselves.
Like what rails?
Yeah,
I think
That's
there
why
might
you
be
put no script
some
in
football
the
on tonight,
drum roll.
Steve.
Football, possibly.
There's
It's
a
always-
football on.
There's always something on, some sort of.
Yeah.
So, what are we reading at the moment? I meant to ask that actually. What books are you reading right now?
I mean, I think if we're live, we should also just congratulate you once again on your
Yeah.
on your book.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Cheers.
Steve. Happy
Congrats,
book
Stephen.
birthday.
Happy book birthday.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thank you
And
very much.
to all the thousands of viewers. Surprise, I'm also here.
Yeah, sorry, surprise! Fifth author, Dave.
Yeah.
There he is over there.
There's so much of no script that we added a fifth author.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like no fucking clue, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
Why have 4 introverts when we can have 5? Yeah.
I have
Not in the
powers
same
combined.
room.
Yeah.
Not
We are
talking.
one extrovert.
Not actual eye contact. We don't want
Yeah.
that. No, we don't want real eye contact. That's just creepy.
Yeah, we're the Voltron of introverts.
That's why,
We're looking
That's why
at
Nicholas-
me and MJ are the legs.
I like it.
That's
I'm here
why-
for it. We got this.
Yeah.
that's why Nicholas
Yeah.
is turned ever so slightly away from his camera so that none of us can accidentally make eye contact with him.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like
I-
Tom Cruise, right?
I did a podcast with a friend of mine that for about 8 years or so. We do it every now and then. Then we tried to do one live in the same room. It was horrendous. I literally had to sit like that and put a bit of paper up because I couldn't physically make eye contact with him and do the podcast because it was too weird. I just couldn't do it. I was just like, so what do you think about the last Batman film? Oh, right. Well, it was just too freaky. I
had
couldn't
to-
get my head around it. And then,
Oh
yeah,
my
that was so
God,
strange.
that's so funny.
Oh, it was very weird. Thank you everyone for joining us. Hello, we're all here. Faces, happy birthday. Thank you.
Oh, hi,
Connor says boldly
Yeah,
fighting
yeah.
Krystle as an introvert. Yeah, this is spontaneous Dave, obviously, and thanks Tim. Thanks very much. So yes, but anyway, sorry. What are you reading? Please tell me so I can drink.
I'm going to let everyone else answer because mine is going to be so disappointing.
Okay. MJ, go on.
And now I'm in suspense at what Dave's gonna say.
You
Yeah.
like edits, so
Right. I'm in my like creepy girl era. So I'm just reading like
Yes.
all horror right now.
oh, okay.
Because Stephen, you're like, what does that mean?
God,
But yeah, so like I just finished Tender is the Flesh, and then now I'm
Oh,
reading
nice.
the Final Girls support group. Both of which fantastic. Although Tender is the Flesh, I feel weird saying is fantastic because it's like just objectively a horrifying read. But with
awesome.
a title like Tender is the Flesh,
Awesome.
you know what you're getting into, baby.
Yeah.
Do you?
So-
Do you?
I thought it was like
Yeah,
a
it's a
romance
little-
novel,
little-
like
Yeah.
Mills
No,
and Boone kind
no,
of.
it's a novel
Tender is
about-
the flesh, sir.
How,
Wow.
yeah.
how tender
Sounds like
is
erotica.
this flesh? Yeah,
if you're looking
like,
for erotica, don't
medium
read it.
rare.
It's
Someone
about
found this book in the
cannibalism,
wrong shelf.
so-
Yeah. There we go. A little bit
Okay,
of
gotcha.
cannibalism.
Yeah.
Slightly
Cannibalism.
different from it's basically like
It's
a futuristic society where cannibalism is legalized and humans are like raised and processed like meat, and it's written from the perspective of a guy that works at a meat processing plant.
Incredible.
Okay, I
Yeah,
wanna
it's
read the
really good,
romance
but it's
version.
Fucking weird.
So basically, 2026 is what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's 2026.
Yeah.
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 Don't
Near
remind me.
future.
I'm the only American in this group, okay? You guys need to support us in our
True.
time of need.
Nick and I are here as your emotional support Canadians. We're here
Thank
to
you.
Go
make
over the
you
border
better.
to escape to where they live.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
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 Everyone will be
fleeing
issued
to
one
Canada.
emotional support Canadian.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll just wave
But there's-
Rocky and be like,
There's more of them than there are of us, so we have to like double duty some of these Americans.
Oh.
and-
And there's the sorting the rotor
Very
out. It's going to
needy.
be tough.
Crystal, where do you live in Canada?
I live in Ottawa, actually.
Okay, awesome.
And I was so heartbroken when you moved out of Kingston because I go there
Yeah.
often, but we didn't know each other, or I was aware of you, but you didn't know me, and I was like,
Yeah,
no,
hit
you
me
left
up.
me
Yeah.
before we can have the chance to be friends.
Yeah.
So
Well, one day, yeah, Kevin Hearn actually came through town once, and he didn't know me, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to go grab a beer?" And I was like, "Of course."
cool.
And cut to like 2 months later, we were both wearing like old school Jason goalie masks, like performing a heist in his Dodge Challenger in the middle of like it was wild. Yeah, things really escalated.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
It's one hell of a
As
picture.
they do, yeah. As they do when authors, find
Yeah.
each other in the wild.
Yeah.
Who were left unsupervised.
Yeah, exactly.
But now you're over the West Coast, and it didn't used to live like
Yeah.
round the corner from Ben Gully. Like you could almost see.
Yeah, he
from
lived.
your own
I moved to
houses.
Victoria because he lived here, so we could become best friends.
Yep.
And we did become best friends for about 2 months, and then
And then he left you.
one night I beat him at darts really bad. I didn't even know I could play darts. Turns out I'm like the Michael Phelps of darts, and he left town. He moved to Vancouver. He was willing to pay 3 times as much rent.
Just to get away from his
As someone who
legacy.
lives in Monaco to live in Vancouver, and so he lives there now. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
But it's quite a good hub. You've got there's you two, there's Mike Shackle, there's Sebastian de Castells
Yeah.
over there. Case Villaloso's just outside Vancouver. So it's quite a good hub of people over there now. You need to have a con.
Yeah.
You need to have a sci-fi con
Yeah.
in Vancouver.
Hey,
You
there's a
see-
place called
you see-
Penticton in BC that's having a thing called it has a thing called Pentacon, and I'm going to be a guest this year.
Ah,
I think so. Yeah, it's not till October, but
nice.
yeah,
Ooh, there we
Oh,
go.
yeah,
That's
should be
cool.
fun. So hey, anyone going to Pentacon? Get there.
Yeah.
You heard it here
look 'em
first,
up.
folks.
Yeah.
That's it. Exclusive. Yeah. So what everyone else? What are you reading?
Krystle.
Krystle, go on.
Oh, I guess okay. But I am rereading my Dennis Lehane novels at the moment. So I'm on Gone Baby Gone at the right now. I just cracked that one open. Yeah, that one hurts. That's a novel that like taught me the value of an unhappy ending that was earned by the story. Because if it ends any different way, it would have felt like a cheat, like and it's like the ending was so consistent with fucking Patrick's character, and you're like, I hate you so much for this. I'll never forgive you, but give me the next book immediately.
Interesting.
That's
Sounds
the
excellent.
best feeling, honestly.
Yeah. So those aren't fantasy. Those are Patrick Kenzie is what am I trying to say? A private detective in Boston.
They're like thrillers, aren't they?
They're PI thrillers set in Boston, and they're rough. Like those books are why I was surprised that people considered my books grimdark, because I was like, oh, I'm not that dark, am I?
How tender is the flesh? Yeah.
Which is why I'm totally sold on Tender as the Flesh. So there you go.
Hey, it's a good title.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal it and just spell flesh with a Y.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Or Tender as the
Tender is
Fletch.
the-
It's the multi-dimensional murder of Michael Fletcher.
Nice.
Tender is the Fletch. There we go. I'm gonna make an anthology. You heard it here.
Oh my god,
Perfect.
I love
Killed
it.
across space and time like a Blake Crouch novel.
Exactly.
Just
And everyone takes place in the dripping bucket, and we all kill Michael Fletcher. There you go.
that sounds good. That sounds good. I put the dripping bucket in my new book, by the way. I've just put it in. So there's a nice
Appreciate
nod. It's now in there too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Krystle, how go the adventures of the Bitch River Gang?
Really good, actually.
I may be
so
short of context on this.
Yes, yes. Okay, so we did a live. Was this on Adrian's launch live stream? We decided we were like talking like 20s gangsters, and we were like, yeah, the Bitch River Gang, see? And then Krystle was like, oh, I'm gonna write that into my novel, actually.
I think we were complaining about how hard it is to like name
shit,
landmarks or something. Yeah, it's like the worst part of world building is like, oh, I gotta name another goddamn river. And then MJ said something about the Bitch River, and I was like, okay, wait, hang on, something brilliant just happened.
Perfect.
So yeah,
Neurons are firing. Wait.
exactly. So yeah, my 1920s coded crime thriller has the Bitch River Gang, and it's for MJ.
Nice.
Could be the next dripping bucket. Everyone's got a bitch river in their book.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I mean, it makes a nice change from calling everything Big River and Big Mountain, and
Yeah.
then trying to pretend like oh no, there's etymology behind it. It's
Yeah.
than the original.
From somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Like that Pratchett thing about the mountain called Your Finger, You Fool. Because when the colonizer arrived and went, "You there, what's that?" And the native went, "Your finger, you fool."
That's fantastic.
So, it's called that, and went away and told everybody that was the name.
Yeah.
Sure, there aren't any real life examples of that happening in the history of the British Empire.
I dread to think, quite frankly.
Sorry, I've hit the colonialism button too early. What are you reading?
What are you reading, Nick?
I actually am taking a rare foray outside of fantasy and reading Lonesome Dove.
I have it to read.
I have it.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is
up there on my shelf.
Yeah.
I had to read it because I'm writing a trilogy of westerns at the moment. So obviously, I had to read Lonesome Dove a few years ago.
Yeah, it's good. I got it because I started playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and was just in that mood.
Yep.
And figured I might as well tackle it while I'm feeling it. So, and I thought it would take me forever to read because I am a really slow reader, but I'm almost done it. I'm almost done it. It's at 900 something pages, and it's just so good. Yeah. Yeah,
that's chunky too.
But it does break the rule of like characters' perspectives. Like it'll switch characters every paragraph if it wants to.
Really?
I mean, that's an omniscient third, right? This is how novels used to be written in the 18th century.
Yeah.
Well, also like pretty recently, like that's a habit that was broken only recently as far as publishing goes. Like
the
kind of in the 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're like an established writer and you're good at your craft, you can totally get away with it. Obviously,
yeah.
I think if like an editor, if I was editing someone that had tried it, I'd be like, "You got to knock this off."
Stop.
Yeah.
Please, God.
Sorry, please. Sam and Rushdie. I don't know what this is. But start over.
No,
start over.
You've got a future, but I'm not sure this is where you go around it.
Yeah.
Try tackling with something a little controversial. This fiction thing isn't working for you, mate.
Yeah.
Bloody Red Dead Redemption, though. It was my agent in 20. I'm going to say the arse end of 2018.
Yeah.
When I'd sent in the original series. They were both written, and I said, "I'm going to write all this new cool stuff." And he was like, "No, you're not. You should write a fantasy western." Well, because it wasn't fantasy. I had this idea for stuff that wasn't fantasy, and he said, "No, you should write fantasy. Just get one done." Just get one done. And you know what? Red Dead Redemption 2's out. That's so hot right now. Why don't you do a fantasy western? And I was like, and then
great.
5 years later, the book came out.
I feel that in
Red
my
Dead
bones.
Redemption 2, not so hot anymore.
I feel like it's still hot though, because like on my TikTok,
it keeps
I'll do
popping
like
back
book
up.
and game recommendations, and I get requests for RDR2 like every 4 seconds. So, I mean, that's very dramatic, but like it's probably my most requested game that I get. So.
If you're it, buy the paperback. It's just out. It's a coffee version. Coffee version of that.
So
See, I've got my own books. I haven't got Steve's handy. It's so rude.
Has that one got blue edges on it?
That's purple edges, but unfortunately, because everything's washed out in this dreadful country, they look blue.
Fair, yeah.
But I would charitably describe that book as a cut and shut of like Terminator 2 and Fury Road. Like first half Terminator 2, back half of Fury Road. So yeah, if that interests any of the thousands of listeners, once you finish buying all of Steve's books, you can also buy mine.
There we go.
Read it.
Yeah, there you go. And if you all come to Glasgow, you can get them signed. So there you go.
That's true. Yeah, and even by me.
I'll sign all the Dane's books as well.
Somebody.
You say that as a joke, but I'm arranging to bring some of Fletcher's books to Glasgow for Dirk to sign, and then I'll give them back to Fletcher, and he'll send them out to people. So,
do you remember the copy of Kings of the World that was floating around a few years ago when we were
boy, my mom really wanted that one. She never got it.
Where did it end up? It was auctioned, right?
Yeah, it was auctioned.
Yeah,
I want to say a woman in Germany won it. But I mean, there's a lot of people on there I would have loved to meet. So it's still pretty cool.
Just being passed around all the conventions and signed by everyone.
Nice
Dirk.
They'd let anyone
sign around, didn't he? Yeah.
Yes.
Anyhow.
I had to balance it on his head while I was signing it, but it was He didn't mind.
Yeah, I believe it.
He didn't
Well,
mind.
He's quite small, so it's fine.
He's a great
you know.
guy. I believe it.
He packs a lot in.
He's a small guy. Yeah, he's a small guy.
Yeah.
Dirk, if
Go
you're
on.
watching, you're a great man.
Go on, Dave. What are you reading that's not inspiring? Go on.
So, well, what I should be reading is this, right? This is what I started reading, and it's still got the bookmark in it. It's The Dawn of Everything. It's A New History for Humanity by David Graeber and David Wengrow. It's extremely interesting, but it's very, very dense. I started reading it a little while ago, and I reached a point where I was like, I just need some fiction. I just need some fiction.
Yeah.
And I had the Kindle with me, and I remembered that I bought the first Master and Commander book on sale for 99p. So I was like, I've read a couple of them ages ago, but I'll just read that. Anyway, I'm now on book 8. Months have passed. Reading them.
That's
I don't
awesome.
know why you
though.
thought
That's
that would
great.
be a bad answer. That's a
Yeah.
fantastic answer.
I finished one last night, and the Kindle, being the bloody Kindle, is like next in series. I'm like, yes.
One click, please. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Like, damn it.
From chapter 12 of that one straight into chapter 1 of the next, going, oh yes, now. Yeah.
See, that's the joy of digital. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
I've
Well,
got
so I
to
expect
stop.
your next book will be some kind of ship-based thing.
Well, this is what happened to RJ Barker. He
Yes.
had to write the whole Bone Ships trilogy because he'd run out of Aubrey Maturin books.
Mm-hmm. Just to do it himself with dragons and put things
Yeah.
in, you know.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, he said he had to make it
How'd you
fantasy
do?
because he knows nothing about boats. So he had to make the boats
Smart.
unlike any real
Yeah.
boats. And that way no one could go, you know nothing about boats. Although apparently
Like-
people still told him he knows nothing about boats.
Then he can be like, you know
Awful.
nothing about boats in my universe, though. So
Yeah,
They
you don't
they
know
don't
nothing
own with
about
dragons, so
ships.
you
Yeah,
know.
sounds
show
like
me
you
one
know
of
nothing
them.
about dragons. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You know nothing.
With dragon
no.
boats.
No.
He
Yeah.
did
Yeah,
tell
that's
me
a, that's a
he-
daunting thing. Writing about boats.
Yeah.
Just who wants to do that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
some people
boats-
call them ships as well.
Yeah.
Boats and guns. Those are where
Mm.
like people who know anything will be like, you said this was a 6-cylinder, but actually it is a 4-cylinder. And therefore
Oh.
you suck. And it's like, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
writing a fantasy novel.
this is where copy editors saved my
I-
bacon, because I
Oh,
was like
yeah?
literally referencing like parts of a ship that didn't exist in the type of ship I had written and like all of this stuff. And I was like, but they called it out and I was able to fix that.
Nice.
Wow.
But yeah.
Well,
without
that's
guns.
good.
That is a
Catch
good
up
copy
with that.
editor.
Yeah.
Right? I
Yeah.
know, that's literally, that was the moment when I was like, are you guys wizards or something? Like, how do you know all of this information about all of this stuff?
We
Yeah.
fielded 672 complaints on previous novels, so we sent someone to research it.
We have done lots of
Yeah.
research on these types of boats.
Yep, get the big book of boats out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Page 1. Stop calling them boats; they're ships.
Oh, that's me.
That's a
Solomon.
lot. It's a lot of find and replace in there.
Yeah. well,
There is a rule. I worked with a customs officer years ago. I worked with quite a few customs officers years ago. Not for anything weird.
Yeah, sure.
They were all they were coastal, like the patrol around Plymouth and everything. And one of them told me the rule for like it's a boat if it's this, it's a ship if it's that. And I immediately forgot it. I know that he told me. I remember that he told me, but I cannot remember. I mean, you generally like big thing ship, small thing boat.
Mhm.
That's the rule I use.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's what I go with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should ask RJ about his series, The Bone Boats, and see what he thinks.
Hopefully he'll be there in Glasgow, so we can ask him about
Not
that.
what it's called.
The Dragon Bone boats.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
he did tell me he spent ages trying to research. He wanted to write like there was because the ships are made of bone, and he wanted to write, the smell of wet bone was in the air. Like, and he was like, what does wet bone smell like? And he got like a friend of a friend, spoke to a pathologist or something, and sent emails and went back and forth for ages, and then finally he got his response back weeks later, like wet bone smells of nothing in particular.
Oh,
Wow.
That's the perfect.
I mean, put it in. Yeah.
RJ
Yeah.
himself tells that much better. We should have got RJ in here. What were you bothering with me when you could have had RJ? Schoolboy error.
yeah. Never mind.
Steve, what are you reading at the moment? Read any good books recently? Anything about, say, historical fantasy about the Persian Empire.
No, I'm done with that
Fishing
shit.
Century.
I'm done with all that nonsense. I just finished reading the third Sebastian de Castell Greatcoats book. Like this morning, I finished it. Loved it.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely loved it. I read the first two. I'm like, I'll have a break before I read the third one. I'm 100 pages in. I'll just keep going now.
Yep.
So I've done that.
Not committed now.
I've got book 4, and I've just picked up the new one.
I want to read those ones so bad. They
Oh,
sound
nice.
so
So-
good.
We've got the fancy ones. Are those broken
Yeah.
binding editions?
Yes, indeed. I happen to know the person who works there.
I like that guy, whoever he is.
Whoever he is. That one
Remember that
guy.
guy. But
Yeah.
I love the swashbuckling. I love the fact that there is some magic, but not a ton. And then when I knew he was bringing out, the new kind of era, new second wave of books, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to finish reading the rest of these now and just go all the way through them. But I can't wait to kind of finish these and then get into them.
I didn't know there were 2 out already.
Yeah. So one's described as a prelude, but basically it looks like a full book to me. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Maybe he wanted
It
it
was
started as a novella and it got. Big
it was meant as a newsletter short story magnet, and then whoops, I guess it's a book now.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
actually
Ryan
know that.
Kyle,
I'm just,
short story.
Maybe,
right.
Jesus.
maybe it's short stories. I don't know, but I don't know. It could be a massive collection of short stories, but it seems like it's quite a lot. It's still like 320 pages, so it's not exactly a novella. There's a fair lot.
Yeah, that's a novel.
How big are the words? Is a print like that
How
big?
big are the words?
I got on
My
my
mom's iPhone. The letters are this tall.
my complaining writers Discord. There's regularly in the channel of like, is my publisher screwing me? Is the how many lines on each page of your typesetting are there? And there's the kind of the safe, like they're not taking the piss. And then there's the you're now in the slightly like getting squinty range to the oh dear, no one's going to read your book because it's miserable.
Wow, really?
Yeah, counting the lines. It's become a real thing. I mean, obviously we haven't got much on.
Obviously, you need something to do with your time, so yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Like, oh, the proofs are here. Let's count the lines. Yeah.
Time
Strange.
for the counting
people.
of the lines.
Hallowed tradition.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I found my spiritual home.
Self-published authors do that too, but we do it like before the book goes to print. Like, how will readers forgive me if I squeeze this down to 700 pages?
You're
No,
doing math on
it
the other
needs to
way.
be 750. Yeah, exactly.
But then
I had that,
the indie doorstoppers now are kind of
Yeah.
Have you got a Ryan
That's
Cahill
kind
there?
of
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I think it's because Trad is going so away from the
Look
doorstoppers.
at this
And people love
doorstopper.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, it's 647 pages.
662. Yeah.
Guys, they
Wow.
should be a chunky book, but a good chunky.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
Yeah,
got Brian Lee Durfee's first one, and look at
Yeah,
look
yeah,
at
That
this.
is a longer too.
Yeah, it's a
I
big
could
one.
kill a small child very easily with this. Wouldn't have to do much force, just kind of drop it near
Yeah.
them. And that is it. They are just
Splash
True.
damage.
just gone. This is monstrous book. This is good.
Real toddler pulverizer.
700 plus. This one, like
Yeah,
750.
Ryan gave some. I can't remember. He
yeah.
just like the numbers have completely detached from reality because he
Yeah,
gave some update about. I've written 260,000 words in the last 15 minutes, so that means I'm a quarter of the way through this book or something. It's just-
Wild.
Yeah,
15 minutes.
the latest one was over 400,000 words, I think, and I remember specifically because he was telling me what dimensions he had to do to get it to fit into a paperback, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. So long as I can keep it smaller than that, I'll be
Right.
okay.
We're good.
Yeah. Great news! We found the upper ceiling of reality.
Yeah,
The printer was like, you either have to make the text smaller or stop writing because you can't have any more pages. Like if you go longer than this, that's your problem. It can't be in one book and be physically bound.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So-
Stephen, you should
Williams'
blurb the next
problem.
one. I could kill a small toddler with this book.
Easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole
I think
school of
front
them.
cover.
Just,
Yeah.
a whole classroom taken out. What was going to happen? A book. Yeah, but the word counts are getting silly. But you're right. We've been hearing a lot of stories lately in the traditional space of word ceilings on new books
Yeah.
coming out, like 100K, 120K.
Yeah, no, I had to get
120K
Among
is-
Thieves under 100K before.
Really?
Hmm.
And that's a second? No, is
No,
that
that's
your
the first one. The second one is
Okay.
like 120. Yeah, I had a little more room
Nice.
to play.
Yeah,
But
because
any of the early
I
reviews
gave
that
you
were like,
one.
I wish we'd been able to like get some more from this character and da 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 da. And I was like, he was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I
shit.
wrote it.
Oh,
Busted.
You're getting
was the
heckled
second
from the
book.
crowd, Dave. You get heckled from the crowd.
The first book is less than
Lovingly
120
heckled.
Ks. 117 for Black Hawks. And then
Okay.
the Righteous that I actually handed in, it was something like 170. And then we mutually agreed to take a chainsaw to it, and the finished book is like 160 odd, 155.
That's a
That's
wee
still
baby.
quite-
That's like
That's
That's
still
not
wee
too bad
beefy.
of a chainsaw.
Yeah.
So I'm the only person who was asked to add 50,000 words to their book.
Yes.
50,000.
That's originally what I was asked.
did you-
Yeah.
So
What
how
do you
long was it to
expect?
begin with?
Originally, I mean, I wrote it at 120, and then me and my agent cut it down to 100. And then
Oh,
when
interesting.
Orbit bought it, they wanted about 10,000 worth of like flashback scenes cut and 50,000 words added. So it ended up at around 135 or something like that.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
But how?
That was that was. a
But
big
that was
change.
like they were in a really rare, like they were in like a summer of let's try big books instead. And I think for a lot of them it didn't work. And thankfully
Oh,
King's
that's
Law was a
true.
small book to begin with. But
Hmm.
Was it, I think the
That's a
cost of paper
big
is going
focus
up. So
shift. That's a big focus shift for the story, like taking out so much backstory and then adding in, I guess, present plot.
yeah,
stuff.
I mean the stuff that got taken out, it wasn't any relevant stuff. It was all just stuff that could be snipped. It was extra words.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like
Okay.
fans and stuff like that. Honestly, I learned a lot about editing, just cutting those 20,000 words out. But adding 50,000 words, I added the bad guy then. Like I didn't even have a bad guy.
Yeah,
in my
you
book.
added
It
a
was just
whole-
horde. It was a horde of monsters within, and so the entire bad guy, the entire like reason for the next two books is all added
Oh,
Ah.
that's really interesting.
oh,
at Tim Hortons at 3 a.m. Yeah,
Yeah, as you do.
So Canadian of you.
yeah.
And then you went to a hockey.
It's the only
game
place that's
after.
open 24 hours. Yeah.
yeah. Gotta get the tin bits.
Yeah.
I warn you now, Nick. We have them here and Crystal. We do have them. They're
I
not
know.
very good.
I
Tim
saw them.
Hortons.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
sorry.
not very good.
I
Yeah.
apologize already because I was so excited when we finally got them over here, and I went, and every time I go, I come away crying. So
See,
I'm all-
Yeah.
That was
They're-
never the purpose of Timmy's. The purpose
Yeah.
of Timmy's is it's cheap and
Yeah.
it's always available.
And it has
no
free
so,
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and it has free Wi-Fi, which saved MJ's life in Toronto.
Yeah, but I mean, the Tim Hortons here, I don't think Canadians are too precious about them. Like, I try to, like, I had a person here in Victoria say, "Can I, like, do you know where we're looking for a coffee? Do you know where the Tim Hortons is?" I'm like, "Why the fuck are you looking for Tim
Why
Hortons?"
would you do that? to
Like,
yourself?
there are 80,000 boutique coffee shops in the next 2
yeah.
blocks. Go there
Yeah,
instead.
Yeah,
And yeah, they're looking for Timmy's, but yeah,
yeah, but
I don't know.
the appeal is back when I worked there, you could get a large for $1.52.
yeah. And the donuts are still cheap. They're still dirt cheap.
They're
like-
terrible. They're
Yeah.
cardboard with sugar on them. Yeah.
They're just not-
That
they're
sounds
not
delicious,
good.
That's all
actually.
that matters.
Yeah.
Who cares about taste? I just need some carbs.
Carbs and sugar, please.
Yeah.
This is what I need. Yeah, it's that.
Yes,
yeah, the ones
Connor.
over
It
here
is
are terrible.
Canadian Dunks.
It is Canadian
That is
Dunkin'.
correct.
Yeah, because I've
Yeah,
never gone to
it's-
Dunkin' Donuts and come out and been like, I'm really glad I did that.
Yeah.
It was
Tears
That
and
was
regret. That's the
good
taste.
decision.
Of,
Yeah.
Dunkin'
Yeah.
Donuts.
was
It's
just
the Krispy Kreme donuts. They were in one of the offices I worked at. Became a thing where people on their birthday would bring in like the box of Krispy Kreme donuts, and every time I'd look at them, be like, "Oh, they look so nice. Oh, I have one. Oh, I have one." And then every time I'd eat one, and then just go, "Why? Why did I do that?"
Why have I done this to
Everything's
myself?
just disgusting now.
Now I need to sleep all afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over here we have Greg's. I'd like to say it's better, but
Oh, okay.
it's the same kind of thing.
An artisan purveyor of baked goods, a sort of like a patisserie, perhaps. That,
Yeah,
you know, you describe Greg's as that.
But I did get
Sausage
strange.
rolls from
Well, I got a craving during lockdown when we couldn't go anywhere or do anything. And
Oh no!
for 18 months, I was craving a hot cheese and onion pasty from Greg's. And finally, Dave's laughing because he gets it, but finally, it's kind of, well, imagine.
It's like,
Yeah,
is it
Timmy.
self-harm a little bit?
Yeah.
Well, a little bit. It's it's not exactly high food.
It's not
It's
pride.
No.
I'm not proud of what I've done to myself.
I sat in Birmingham in the sunshine with a friend, and I sat and had my hot cheese and onion pasty, and it tasted delicious. And I was so glad for it. I'm dreaming of it. Like, it's like fish and chips. We had takeaway fish and chips once during lockdown from the place that would do it. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It was so bad. And finally, the actual my local opened again. I was there at the door, like 2 minutes to opening.
Can you let me
I want that fish and those chips and all of them. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Oh man,
Oh my
now I'm
God.
hungry.
Yeah.
Now I'm just hungry. Talk about food.
Could really go for a cheese and onion slice about now.
Oh yeah, cheese and onion pasty, man.
18-month craving.
Does Canada have good pizza? Ooh.
Ooh.
I mean,
Ooh.
I think it
Literally
depends
anywhere in Canada. I'm guessing no.
I think it depends. It depends where you go, but I would say yeah, because there's a lot of places that do like
We have-
boutique everything.
Yeah. We have a lot of chains. I mean, it's the same thing as Tim's. You can get a large pizza for $25 or an extra large pizza for $25 and feed all of the children that have come to your kid's birthday party, or you could get good pizza.
Yeah, you can go to like a not like a chain restaurant, but a place that does pizza, and it's as good as anywhere, I would say, on earth. Sorry, Italy, but I mean, I've been to Chicago and had their pizza, and it's fucking not nearly as good as any pizza that I've had.
Chicago
in
style pizza, hot take, sucks.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
awful.
it's just not.
Apparently,
It's a bucket
if
of
I'm
cheese
understanding
with
the situation correctly,
sauce on
it's
top.
one of those things where even the locals hate it. It's just like a tourist trap thing where it's like,
Oh,
yeah.
Chicago
Gotcha.
deep dish.
Yeah, you waited for 3 hours. Now sit in a basement with a bunch of sweaty people and eat your
Yeah.
pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
Eat your lasagna.
That's literally, it's not
Yeah.
even pizza. It's like
Yeah.
a bowl made of bread, a bread bowl. It's a soup, but solid. It's awful.
It's a
Wow.
soup, but it's congealed. French
Yeah.
onion
Do a commercial
soup
for
without
them.
the
Yeah.
broth.
Literally,
soup.
yes.
A bread soup. Delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, don't say that to Cornish people about their pasties over here, because they will just bury you in a cave somewhere. They're very proud of their Cornish pasties.
It does make me think of the Aberdeen Angus steakhouses in the West End of London, because
Yeah.
you get like you hear people go, "Oh, I went to London and the food was terrible." Like, oh, really?
Where did you
London's
go?
got amazing restaurants. Where did you go? Like, we went to Leicester Square and we went to this amazing looking steak restaurant right opposite, or possibly the one that was over the road from it, or possibly the one that was there. But there's 4 of them right next to each other,
Crap.
sort of sucking tourists out of the tube and then
Yeah.
into these dark, dingy places where they are relieved of, I assume, like 60 quid each, and then served a little like lukewarm lump of grey
Oh.
meat.
That's painful.
Oh no, everyone
Welcome
does it.
to England,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're really selling it.
Yeah, try the grey meat.
Nobody who lives in the country goes to these things. You walk past them
Yeah.
and assume they're a front for money laundering, because they serve no purpose. You surely cannot make enough money to have a prime, like, West End of London real estate position like that when all you're doing is mugging tourists. Maybe you can. Maybe we're in the wrong business.
I was gonna say, I would guess there's a lot of tourists just available.
Yeah.
To be
We didn't get the right to
sold.
make
In the
money,
West End
to
of
be honest.
London, tourists. There might be a few.
Let's all open a pizza shop in London.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll serve
Yeah.
something that's like a soup but solid
yeah, yeah. MJ can do our marketing.
in a bread bucket.
With messaging like that, we cannot fail.
How
Perfect.
can we fail?
Yeah,
How can we
I'll
fail?
be
Yeah.
in charge of
Get a lot of
trashing other
American-
pizza.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, just making
Guerrilla
broad
marketing on the other
statements about
side.
other countries' pizza.
Yeah, Nicholas Eames says, "Suck it, Italy.
Yeah,
Your pizza's terrible and your haircuts are bad."
yeah.
Prescription haircuts. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
That'll never become a thing.
I went to Italy once. It was all right.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
So I've got some other tourism reviews later if you need that.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, France. All right.
If
all
I
right.
translate British to North American English, that was a glowing review, actually.
Parts of Italy.
Not bad. Yeah. Okay.
It's nice. It's okay.
Yeah.
If you say
I
it was
did actually-
quite something, then that's an insult.
quite, yes.
right?
No,
Yeah.
well, it depends. If you say, it's
Oh.
quite good. But if you say, it's quite good. There's
all
two
about
very
the
different
complexity.
Yeah,
things.
there's very and very good, but doesn't necessarily mean it's really good. That's just like it's okay. You have to learn the difference when you come over to England. If someone says that was very good, that doesn't mean that was amazing. It means it was okay.
It was good, yeah.
The qualifier
But
very in this case does not mean excellent. It just means
It's like learning Japanese, though, isn't it? It's sort of the inflection.
It's
Yeah.
the inflection, yeah.
Oh, it's very
So
good.
if someone says, Nick, I liked your book, a British person, it was very good. I should just punch them.
if they said
Probably.
I liked your book,
Assuming.
you're like, oh, thank
Yeah.
you. And they go, it was very good. They're like, that means it was, that's like
Now they're just throwing shade a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the
I'm about to make
visceral
your face
feeling.
very good.
there you get. See, you're getting
Yeah.
it. He's learning.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
also
Yeah.
remember, every British pound is worth 2 Canadian pounds. That's the
Yeah.
At least,
thing you have to
yeah.
learn at these
Yeah.
points. I learned that quite quickly. How much? Repeat that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
great. I mean, lucky I actually get paid in US dollars, so even that works out pretty good where I live.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. There we go.
Yeah, let's keep it
Yeah.
stable.
Man,
That's the secret.
Anyway,
stop
moving
with
away,
that
away
stupid
from
devaluing currency.
Yeah,
away from
exactly.
economics.
Yeah.
I haven't played anything good lately because I've got a Switch and I've gone back to Zelda Breath of the Wild again because I just wanted to, and I played Fallout 4 again after watching the TV show.
Yeah.
I'm seeing something coming up, but
Who
Anyone
says
playing
we're
anything?
highly influenced?
marketing. You think after 30 years of working in it, I'd know what I'm doing, but
Steve, I'll tell you what I played. Having
Fair.
got myself hooked on bloody Aubrey Maturin books, I went back and played Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Nice.
Oh, there you
And
go.
nice.
yeah, I didn't like it. It's
No.
just, it's not aged well.
That's a bomb review.
Really?
Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
played it in
the
a long
translation.
time.
No,
Right.
so like 2014, if I'd played it then, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I'd have gone like, wow, this is the best Assassin's Creed game ever. And now I'm playing it just going like, this is such fiddly, annoying bullshit.
Well, it was very repetitive, I remember. And that's
Oh, yeah.
the complaint I have with a lot of the Assassin's games. And part of that is my fault because I'm one of those annoying.
Gotta get the
annoying
icons, gotta get the
people that
icons,
needs
gotta
to
get the icons.
100% my game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, completionist.
So
yeah.
with Black Flags, I honestly think I might have ended up DNFing it in the end because it just became, I'm sailing to a fort and I'm taking it over. And I'm sailing to a fort and taking it over. You know?
Yeah.
So
It's the whole, there's a desert island in the far left-hand corner of the map, and what you're going to need to do is spend like 10 minutes sailing your boat. Yeah, your boat over there, and then you're going to have to jump off your boat and swim for a minute and a half to get to the island, and walk the length of the island to find the little icon, press the button, watch the tedious animation of the man going.
but then you get the
And then you got to walk all the way
you got
fucking
a
back.
achievement, and it makes your soul happy for 1 second. That dopamine hit is
That
what
Yeah.
makes
sweet
it all worth it,
dopamine.
Dave.
Yeah. So I went through that. I finished it. I skipped most of the cutscenes towards the end because I was so just over it. To get to the end, and it kept dropping in that awful meta game where like you're in the middle of doing some pirating, and then suddenly it's like you're back in an office in a conference call.
Oh
And it's
yeah.
like,
Yeah, I hate that
would you
in
like to watch our
Assassin's Creed.
corporate presentation?
Yeah.
I
was
Why
a
would I want to
pirate.
do that in real life?
For
Yeah.
Never mind.
when it was what was his
I
name,
escaped the
Desmond
city.
or whatever, the original
Yeah.
guy. I liked those parts when it was him, but as soon as it wasn't him anymore, I was like, can we
Oh, it
just give
just-
up this little shtick?
Well,
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah.
it
I
was
was around the office
original.
reading post-it notes like, this is dissonance.
Yeah.
Bad.
It was original in the first game, and it was like, oh, that's really interesting how they've layered the storytelling, and then,
Mm. And then they just kept
and we
churning.
we understood it. We understood it. We got it. We got it. They just kept telling us, then.
Yeah, so that sucks. Don't play it. So I went back and to Miles Morales, the 1.5 Spider-Man game, and just like
yes.
traveling around the city in 10 minutes of that is like, why would anyone ever play an Assassin's Creed game ever again? Yes, the
Oh,
map is full of icons. Yes, it's full of busy work, but everything counts. Everything matters.
Yeah, it's a good game. Great game.
So David, you give the Black Flag 1 Chicago deep dish pizza rating.
It was very good.
It's like a soup that's solid.
Would you say it was very good or good?
I'd say it was quite good.
It was quite something.
That's terrible then.
Wow,
Okay.
scathing.
With rage.
Quite good. That's not a good.
Yeah.
That's a bad rating too.
It's a very bold choice.
Yeah, I've been playing the first Spider-Man game as well recently. Just like you, Dave. I'll just swing around all these missions, and I'm like, I just want to swing around for like 10 minutes, and I find it very quite soothing. Or Zelda, all these monsters. I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna wander around the
Run
kind of
away.
meadows.
You could be swinging at like 150 miles an hour. You can make an absolute hash of it and face plant into a building, and he's just like bonk and carries on. Whereas in Assassin's Creed, you can be like climbing the mast, get to the top of the mast, and like now defeat the guy at the top of the mast. And you get your sword out, and he goes bonk, and your guy goes, and you die.
You have a hidden talent of janky video game
minutes.
motions.
You mocap,
I think it's because he's so tall.
You're good at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been impressed, by video.
Victoria?
Yeah, you need to. My friend does mocap, but I think you should give him some tips. To be honest, he's done mocap for Baldur's Gate. Is that the one that you like, MJ?
cool.
Baldur's Gate 3?
Oh yeah.
He's done some
I
mocap
literally
for that.
built a PC so that I could play Baldur's Gate.
There you go.
And it was
Now
great.
that is a game. That is a game.
Everyone keeps saying I should play it. Like,
Do it. Okay, now that your book is out, do it because it will
Okay,
change
so
your life.
I know it's fantasy, but what kind of a game is it? Is it strategy? Is it
It's Dungeons and Dragons.
It's Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, so it's what am I? Third person, like
Isometric,
maneuvering
it's
around,
called.
but it's turn-based combat. So once you enter combat, it becomes turn-based game. But yeah, basically, like you have a party and you are on this journey. So it starts. You have a mind flayer little worm inside your head, and you have to find a way to get it out within X amount of time, or else you're gonna become a mind flayer. And so that's like the impetus for the game, but then blah 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 blah. Lots of shit happens, and you can do all kinds of stuff. You can so I've only played one playthrough. I want to make a new character and do my asshole playthrough because
is this the Dark Urge?
Yeah,
I've heard a lot about the Dark Urge.
Anytime there's like a morality thing,
no, we're all getting the Dark Urge, Steve.
Yeah,
everyone's planning a Dark Urge playthrough.
You make the good decisions or the decisions you think are right the first time.
Okay.
And the second time, you're like, I'm just gonna be a dick to everyone.
You're gonna.
I still got to do that.
The flesh run through.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Like creepy girl summer, goth girl summer playthrough.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you imagine role playing as someone who's a dick to everyone? Can you imagine?
Yeah, I do that with a couple of my role players. Yeah, I have a couple of D&D campaigns with one's the bunch of authors, and my character's just a dick, and it's a lot of fun. It's a huge amount of fun just to be this arsey dragon king who keeps trying to hump or kill everything or eat stuff. So that's basically my character. So
that's also basically Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh
yeah.
It's an incredibly horny game.
It's
the
just wild.
only thing I know about it.
You can romance like everyone in this game. Yeah,
I'm pretty like everyone in it is pansexual. I mean, and like that thing about how do you know someone's a vegan because they'll tell you. Well, in this, it's like how do you know all the characters are pansexual because you'll have 2 conversations with them and they'll be like,
right.
I mean, goals, right? Like,
yeah.
Can't help it that we made our avatars super hot, Dave.
Yeah. I mean, for those of us who just get that in our day-to-day existence anyway, I guess it's not that unusual.
Yeah.
But...
I'm trying to live a fantasy where that doesn't happen to me when I game.
Keep them at arm's length, just like, come on.
Yes.
You know,
I
know my spindly limbs, extremely tall bodies, find it extremely attractive. I'm so far away.
We're very in demand, Steve. We're aloof.
Just because they're generally so far away from people.
Yeah, it's because they're so high up that we can't make eye contact with you from down here.
We're unattainable, like a cheese and onion pasty.
Yeah, you got to wait 18 months before you can get one. This is it.
Till he built the step ladder.
It's 18 months. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Yeah.
Anyway, you should play Baldur's Gate, because
Okay.
what I would say, yeah, it's more serious point compared to like the maps full of icon bullshit that Ubisoft now drown us in, and even the Spider-Man, which is a map full of icons.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate is a map full of like quests,
Yeah.
and you just wander around and things happen, and you're busy, and you're always in the middle of something, and something else comes up, and oh no, yeah, but none of it is go and clear out 10 bandit camps. Go over there, kill 50 goblins.
Yeah.
Go and find 100 of these.
Well, and you can
Everything
do
is-
whatever you want, right? Like, it's like, I honestly, at no point was I sure I was following the main plot of the
Yeah.
game. I was just kind of like fucking around. And then I was like, oh my God, I made it to the location everyone's been talking about forever.
Yep.
How
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Seemingly by accident, I am
Yeah.
here.
Like,
Yeah.
how that happened. Yeah, but it did. It felt
Yeah.
super organic. Yeah.
Just bumble
you
your way
play it.
through and somehow manage
Yeah.
to still finish the game, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly. And the best part is you can save a baby owl bear. Looking at you, Nick. You can save a baby owl bear,
Yeah.
and then you can bring it to your camp, and then like, it hangs out with a dog you can rescue, and they become best friends, and it's the best thing in the whole game.
We're
Yeah.
not buying.
All you got to do is kill the owlbear's
Sorry.
mom first, though.
Well,
Hey, I
that's-
found a way of doing it without that.
Yeah.
Somebody else killed it though.
I was gonna say the goblins killed the mom in my playthrough.
Yeah.
I just saved the baby. But I also was a druid, and I spent way too much of the game morphing into my wild shape just to talk to every fucking cat in the game.
I just had the speak to animals perk, so you could like
Yeah,
walk
you got
up and
there's a spell for that too. But it was
Yeah.
different to be a cat and talk to the cats. And then like I
Yeah.
could just like mosey around, like sneaking around.
That's the
with
half-ass
cat.
way of doing it.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was a good
So has
time.
everyone played it apart from me? Is that what you're telling
Yeah,
me?
looks
I
like it's
haven't.
the-
No,
Oh,
I
okay,
haven't.
me and Krystle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was about to say
But there's
everyone
still
on
time.
Earth, apart from you. But
Uh-huh.
Last one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
We're
think
the last
there's a
holdout.
prize if you're the last one to play it, I think.
I'm behind on everything, like books, TV,
Yeah.
films, games. I'm always back because there's just so much stuff now compared to when we were younger. I can't keep my to read pile is out of control. My TV pile is out of control.
yeah, yeah.
You know.
TV shelf,
Yeah,
TV bookcase.
especially once you like are publishing as a human being. It's like I got into the business of writing stories and selling them because I love it so much, and now I have no time for movies or video games or books that I like. So yeah.
Do you find when you do get a chance that you've got a big list of things you're kind of, oh, I should, but instead you're like, but instead I'm just going to get the book out that I've read 30 times already.
Yep,
or-
that's why I'm rereading the Kenzie series.
Yep.
It's like I have all of these beautiful books that I do genuinely really want to read. Like I'm really
Yep.
excited about Josiah's new one, although it's not even new anymore. It's like old news now.
Yeah.
His old new book.
Yeah, his old new book. It's like a whole 2 years old now.
Yeah.
But I stand in front of those beautiful books and I get like decision paralysis. And it's like, what if I don't like it? I have so little time
Yep.
to read. I have 20 minutes.
Yep.
Okay, I'll
Are you
start
a
laying down.
DNF fan or no?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
that's what I was
yeah.
saying. That like removed some of the fear of that for me because for a long time I would refuse to DNF books, and
Oh.
starting DNFing has been like
Yeah.
game changer for me the last few years because it's like I'll even like DNF a book and then I'll come back to it like 6 months later. 'Cause it's,
Totally.
like sometimes
Yeah.
it's just like, ooh, I can tell this is good, but just like
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't know right now.
Well,
yeah.
that's me reading
I-
nonfiction.
This is completely true. I've had Lycanius on my shelf for 4 years, and equally, what do we just? Oh, I wanted to reread Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, so I did a read along on my
Yeah,
shelf, get
yeah.
other people to make me read it, and now I'm doing Lycanius next, so I'll actually read it.
There you
I
go.
got to sit next to Tab Williams and do a reading with Tab Williams.
Wow.
When's this?
That was FantasyCon last year.
And how was it?
Wow.
Well, I didn't want to waste anyone's time, so I read like 3 pages, and Frances White was with me, and she did like 3 pages as well. And Tad's like, well, we're only quarter of an hour into the hour, so he just read for like 40 minutes.
Wow.
It's kind of hypnotic.
I did get him
Hero
to sign that book when
behavior.
he was there. So
Yeah.
that one.
But I have a photo of me and Francis and Tab Williams. Yep. All sitting together. And I was reading his stuff when I was at school in the 90s going, oh my God, this is amazing. So
Mhm.
yeah, I got
Same.
to sit next to him, and and that's it. That's really as high as my ambitions go.
Right? You're like, okay, I'm good.
Peak now.
Yeah, it's mostly
I
sitting
have
next
you
to
now.
people.
Yeah.
I have a photo of
Mike.
Stephen Aryan from just behind his head when I was beside him on a thing, and I was like, sent it to my best friend. I'm like, look at this. I'm right beside Stephen Aryan. Yeah. And now I live in the same town as him, and I literally see him at the coffee shop sometimes.
Oh, there's another one.
cool.
The one you're West Coast, yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Does he know who you are, or is it more just still?
I don't think
photograph?
I've passed him on the street a couple times, and I haven't said anything to him. When I saw him in the coffee shop, I was walking by, so I was just like, holy shit. I think if I saw him in the coffee shop, I would say hi to him again. And we have met once. We met in London at Comic-Con and just talked hockey or something like that for a little bit, as Canadians do when they meet in the wild.
Yeah.
But I don't expect he would know who I am. He might, if I said the name of the book, he might jog a memory or something like that, but I don't think he expect him to remember.
So a few years ago, I went to the French festival Les Imaginales. They invite 5 or 6 Brits, 5 or 6 Americans, and the rest are all European authors. And that year, Robin Hobb was there. Christopher Priest was there from England. Myself, RJ Barker, Ed McDonald, and Stephen Aryan.
Oh, wow.
And when I wasn't, and some others I've forgotten. And when I wasn't doing,
Hopefully they weren't important.
Wasn't doing
or not.
panels. They want you to sign. You sit down. So I had Christopher Priest on my left. I have Stephen Aryan on my right for like 3 days. I'm like, this is going to be so fucking embarrassing. It's going to be like massive queues down either side of me, sat there like, oh, you're here to see me? No, Erickson. Okay. No, Christopher. Right. Okay. Right. Yeah.
I did Rose City Comic Con with I shared a signing table with Travis Baldry and at Falcon.
Oh wow.
His line was like, meow. And I was
Surprisingly,
like,
I did get quite a few people though. I was delighted. The French fans were just incredible. And I sat next to Erickson and talked to him for sort of 2 or 3 days about various things. And he's very kind of, what's the word? Dour. He's very kind of, he's very straight. He's very sort of, he's not someone laughing and joking and telling.
He's like muted. Yeah.
He doesn't talk a lot about his favorite pizza, that kind of thing. He's very kind of down to earth. RJ.
Unlike the freaks you assembled for this panel.
5 minutes with RJ and that changed.
oh, really?
That doesn't surprise me.
And afterwards he said, I
He's
quite enjoyed this
very
convention. And I'm like, that'll be RJ then.
He's very charming.
He's the life and soul.
But yeah, Erickson, yes, he was a nice guy. Yeah, I enjoyed talking to him. But I don't think he's coming to like Worldcon or anything. I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I was supposed to go to that L'Imaginal thing that maybe the next year, March of 2020, and it didn't happen. I was going to meet Joe Abercrombie for the first time.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'll do it. I don't do it. I don't care. But apparently, hopefully he's going to be at Worldcon. So
he is. I was saying, have you not met him since?
I've never met him. No,
he's there. He'll be there. He'll sign your book, Jill, like he does every other book. So
perfect.
It's true. His signature just looks like Jill every time.
Good old Jill Abercrombie.
Yeah.
Gotta love
he'll
her.
be there. He's coming up for it.
Yeah.
It's not that. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a book
Every
out
time
now, hasn't he?
somebody tells me
Next
who
year.
else is coming to Glasgow, I get more and more intimidated. And I'm like, but wait, I was just going to go see my friends.
Yeah, I'm so excited to meet so many people that I've known for so long. And
Yes.
yet never,
Yeah.
like Dirk
Yeah,
Ashton.
that's the feeling.
I can't
Yeah.
fucking wait to meet Dirk Ashton.
There's
You've never
one.
met Dirk.
There's one.
Never
I've
met him in real
person.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Krystle, we've known each other for years and years.
Yeah.
Like tangentially.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
I can't wait.
just like on Twitter, however much that counts. But it's funny, you know, that you say
counts.
that it doesn't count. But like,
Yeah.
the opportunities that I've gotten just from knowing people on Twitter is pretty cool. Like being here, celebrating some guy publishing another book that I don't even think he mentioned the name of.
Oh, that old chestnut.
That old man.
Plugged inside. Out to me, everyone.
Yes.
Woo! The end.
I hear it's good.
No, bring it back.
It's all right.
It is
Yeah,
good.
pretty good.
It's all right.
Quite good. I say it's
Yeah.
quite good or very
Beautiful
good.
covers. Beautiful covers. Great titles.
Yes.
Gorgeous
Yes.
covers
Yes.
and gorgeous special editions.
Sarah
I-
O'Farrell, she's a fantastic designer. She's so good. Absolutely.
Are all the weapons the right way up?
Don't stop. Don't stop.
Well, that feels like a story that we need.
Yeah.
While
Here's the
I'm throwing
slipcase
this
version
off.
of the first one.
Oh,
Nice.
look
Oh
at
yeah.
Oh my god.
I was in Toronto. I guess it was a
that's
year
gorgeous.
ago now. When that one came out, I was in Toronto when it dropped, and
Wow.
I had to move my car at 7 a.m. because the parking lot rules were really weird. And I was like opening the broken binding email in my car, like I shouldn't be doing this. And then it's like, okay, I'm in traffic. I better stop. And in the time it took for me to find another parking lot, it was all the slipcase ones were gone. So
No.
all I got is this one, but it's very
Oh.
pretty.
Okay.
That damn car. I meant to go earlier, but I don't know. 7 o'clock in the morning after that much drinking was really hard to manage.
So, who are you most intimidated about meeting then at Worldcon? Like, or generally, an author?
Most of the people, like when Mr. Eames sent me an email saying, "Here's the PayPal information for
Mr.
the
Eames.
Airbnb." Yeah, I
My
was
dad
like,
here?
"Oh, shit! I just got."
Hey,
I brought it to Kareem like, I just got an email from Nicholas Eames. What's happening? And so, my bar for intimidation, it doesn't take a lot to clear. Like, you guys are pretty cool. I'm
Well,
excited.
I'm flattered. I promise I put my jogging pants on one leg at a time, like everyone else. Every single day of my life.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's true.
Or sweatpants.
We're really
whatever,
proud of everybody for
Yeah.
wearing pants to this.
Yeah.
Sorry, was
There's
that
no
a rule?
proof that you're not.
It was a
Dave's
request.
like, I
more
don't think
than
I
a
ever
rule.
agreed to that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I wore the nice T-shirt.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
What happens under the camera is of no concern to anybody.
Mhm.
Yeah, just don't
That's
back
none of
up
our
too
business.
far.
I got the special editions that came through the other day of these two, the beauty.
Ooh, so nice.
Ooh, yes.
So nice.
I haven't read this yet. I really want to read this
Oh.
very, very soon. You've read this, haven't you, Nick?
I have, yeah.
I've read it as
I
well.
mean, I should have a blurb on there, I think.
I believe so.
It's a quite good, Nicholas Eames.
yeah,
Quite,
but really
yeah.
quite good.
In
That would be
quotation
different
marks.
from a
That means
Canadian
something
one, sure.
different from a lot more.
Oh,
There's a translation issue.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
He's
really one
coming
of
as
the
well.
great.
He's
Oh,
going to
is
go
he?
there in
Oh,
Glasgow.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
So I'm going to take this one to get personalized. Everyone's like, "Oh, we'd already signed." I'm like, "Yeah, but I want it personalized to me." I'm
Like,
not,
I want it signed to
I'm not
me.
selling it on, for fuck's sake. Just keep it.
Well, one of the great honors of my writing career was getting to write a foreword for a special edition of that book. Midworld Press
wow.
did a special edition.
Oh, hell
Um,
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Are you allowed to tell us
Those
what
would
the
be
forward
nice.
says, or do we have to go and buy the edition?
Well, I mean, it's just a page long. Obviously, it's extremely well written, really poetic, with a poignant, punchy ending.
Best-selling
Mhm,
you know?
author.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Love,
like a tear in
romance,
the eye,
tender
but a
flesh,
happy
whole-
tear.
Yeah. I was basically, I was like looking up every forward I've got, which is basically just Alan Moore forwards in old Michael Moorcock books and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's probably a little
How do you,
outdated.
20 to
like, how do
30,000
you
words
write the
long,
forward?
Alan Moore.
That's exactly what I did. Yeah, pretty
Mhm.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also do the same if I was asked to do that.
Yeah.
So I say it respectfully.
Anyways, MJ, Worldcon's gonna suck. It's probably best that you're not.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
Yeah,
it. Don't worry about it. You're not missing
Thanks
anything.
so much,
it's going to be
Provo.
terrible. So,
That's okay.
don't
I'll
worry.
be there, or I'll be at. I'm planning to come across the pond next year now, so
Perfect.
it won't be as big of an event as Worldcon, but that's okay.
Yeah, we've got
Are you-
so
Well,
we've
next
got
year,
World Fantasy Convention next year, which is apparently not the same thing as Worldcon.
Wait,
Yeah.
there's another one?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Is that's
So
the
next-
one you were telling me about, right, Stephen?
Yeah, because normally we have FantasyCon, which is like September, October. Next year,
And that's-
they're not having that. They're blending it with World Fantasy Convention.
I feel like I should be on a newsletter for this stuff. I'm
Yeah.
hearing about this for the first time.
I think it's like late October or early November or something like that. It's in Brighton next year. So there's that
Brighton?
instead.
Oh,
yeah.
it's miles away.
It was me Birmingham, and then something went wrong.
other
and now it's
translation.
Miles away.
I'm
Yeah.
coming from Michigan, Dave.
MJ, you don't understand.
Just-
I have to walk like 15 minutes to the station. I have to get on a train. I have to stay on that train for like an hour and a half, an hour and three
Yeah,
quarters.
That
Yeah.
is prohibitive.
You're trying to get
I just
trying to get
It's
sympathy from the
exhausting.
wrong
It's
demographic.
uncomfortable. It's very.
Meanwhile, I have an 18-hour flight or 18-hour.
You know,
And
just-
like this time last year, I was driving 5.5 hours for a little road trip to go see Adrian and MJ in Toronto. I've got
Yeah.
them so
America
much,
is
it's
different
fine.
from here.
Yeah,
That's the
Yeah.
good thing
Oh,
about
yeah.
living in Ontario. I'd be halfway there already. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, I'm another 1,000 miles across the country.
yeah.
Or,
you know.
Are you gonna
Well,
have
you
to do it? Are you able to get the direct flights from where you are? Like they're
no,
No.
even just to get off. I live on an island on the Victoria,
Oh, I
so
see.
to get off Victoria is a
off
flight,
the island.
and then
So it'll be
actually,
like
I think
a
the
full
flight
day tour.
goes from Vancouver to London, which is a very,
Okay.
very, very long flight.
Yeah.
But then it's from London to Glasgow. So
Yeah.
You're going to road trip it up, aren't you?
no,
No, he's
I'm
not. He's
flying up
flying.
and
Yeah.
try to get out. Hopefully, we'll see how long it goes. But I have you to thank, Stephen, for egging me to go, because I was like on the fence, and it was a message from you being like, "You gonna go there? You should go." I was like,
Yeah.
"Fine."
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
See, gathering
Yeah.
the people. Yeah, gathering
Yeah.
all the
Thank you,
people.
You're one of the
Stephen.
people I met when I was first there before. That I can't wait to see everyone again. You know, it's been too long.
Yeah.
It was a long time.
Yeah.
It
It's
was
really
when you were-
surreal.
London, you came for a con, didn't you?
Yeah, I came to Comic-Con twice, but it was
Yeah.
probably about 6 years ago now. So hopefully I'll get to meet you and RJ and tons of people again.
Yeah.
My
Well,
UK editor.
We're
Like literally
We're-
everyone I've ever talked to is going to Worldcon this year.
Are you
Like, I
going to
feel
make
like everyone's gonna
Adrian?
be there, yeah.
Is Adrian going to wear like one of those virtual presence iPads for you, and just like or over his face?
Okay. There
yes,
we
we
go.
should do that.
Now we're
Yep.
talking. Now it's
Uh-huh.
a
Make
good
him
idea.
walk around
we'll
and be
do-
your virtual you.
Yeah, just like tape an iPad to a Roomba. We're good.
We'll do like a dripping bucket SFF Addicts crossover episode. You and Fletcher still in North
Yes,
America.
we can
and then,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, there
And
we
you
go.
two over
like it.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
That'll be good. Oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be quite messy.
You're gonna make
Just-
sure it's messy from what I'm
Yeah.
gathering.
Everyone's
I-
like, "Oh, do you enjoy the panels and the talks?" Yeah, I quite enjoy them, but I
quite
really
enjoy
enjoy the other stuff afterwards.
Yeah,
I haven't even got a
Buckeye,
ticket to Worldcon. I haven't even I might go.
Yeah.
I might pay for a day if I really want to see something, but otherwise you'll find me in the bar.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I keep forgetting that it's happening. And, like somebody sent me an email, like, "Are you gonna go to the Hugo's dinner?" And I'm like, "What Hugo's dinner?"
The what dinner?
Yeah.
The what now?
Yeah, I don't know. There's like a dinner. There's an award. I don't
It's on
know.
Sun-
I don't
on
know. I'm the
Sunday.
wrong person to ask. And she's
They're still doing that. No.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm not going to that. No.
Like, I'm out.
There's various things every night, so I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm not doing that. No,
Yeah.
no, thanks. Just be hanging out, catching up with people and talking to people, and you know,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
chasing Christian
Doing
Bjorn around. signing them up.
impromptu panels in the bar.
Yeah.
Make your own
exactly.
panel.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
panel's
cool.
on Chicago pizza.
Well, we're gonna have on Tuesday evening. We're gonna have a Birmingham beer panel where Stephen attempts to injure me.
She is road tripping up with Adrian and some other people,
Yeah.
so they're coming here, and we're going to go for beers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beer and a
Yeah.
curry in Birmingham. I mean, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do around here.
Yeah.
If I don't get drunk texts, I'm gonna be so upset.
You get photos from the pair of us in the same room for the first time ever, like
Yeah.
selfies, you know, and
Yeah.
Adrian and whoever
Yeah, me
else
and
is-
Adrian will just give you a play-by-play of like.
I love it. I love it.
of what you can remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Adrian's
Yeah, then I'll give
basically
you guys the play-by-play back in the morning when you don't remember what happened.
Yeah, perfect.
It'll be like that.
I might
Yeah,
miss
it does sound like
arriving
Adrian's
at
gonna be
6:30
the,
that night.
What's
the
that?
official record keeper of the trip. Is that going to be his role as scribe?
Scribe.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick.
I'm looking forward to seeing Adrian too. I've known Adrian. We worked in
Yeah.
restaurants together back in the
Really?
day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
Vancouver,
I
we
didn't know
worked at a place called the Sandbar, where I worked for exactly 1 year. And he was an expediter there, and I was a server, and we just hit it off. Like I was
Oh,
writing
that's
my
not
old
bad.
book that will never see the light of day, and
The
we
Trump
go.
novel.
Yeah, he offered me fashion advice as someone many years younger than me. Stopped me wearing cargo shorts, which is something I will be forever grateful for, even though they're coming
Especially
back.
now that you're a famous author,
Yeah, but I remember he did something, and I was like, oh, what's that or something, whatever it was. Could have been a flat rimmed hat, I don't know. And he's like, this coming from a guy wearing cargo shorts, and I was like, shit.
Wow. Wow. Killed you.
Yeah.
A murder happened that day.
Roasting.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
Funny non-related story about Adrian is that once, and granted, we all made terrible mistakes at this restaurant, but his job, it was like there was a 3-level restaurant, and the patio was just a stunning patio. So everyone's up there, and he, the expediter, had to carry everything up these steps. And I remember one time they used to load these giant trays with like 8 plates of like steak and lobster. And one was just so overloaded. And he's like, I can do it. Don't worry about it. And he was so cavalier about it. And I was like, oh boy. And so I go up first, and a second later, not too long, I hear this massive crash, and he dropped them all. Granted, he got it up there 1,000 times out of 1,001 times.
Oh yeah,
but yeah,
that one. Oh,
I'll always remember that one. Yeah,
I would die.
Can I just clarify what an expediter is?
An expediter is, I've also been one in restaurants. It's basically a person who's like a liaison between the servers and the kitchen. So they would stand in front of the things, and they like last minute garnish, and usually call people to take food.
I was gonna say, I don't know if our crew ever ran food when I worked in restaurants. I don't think I ever saw they had food running. RQA.
Yeah, not in any of the restaurants I worked in. We worked in shitty restaurants, and the servers had to do.
Yeah, that's true. I'm working in like fast casual American dining chain restaurants, so maybe it's different from fine dining.
So, which character in The Bear is the expediter?
I don't know if there really is one. It would almost be the person who like sits there and calls everything that they need. Because I've been one before too, and you're like, I need this in this many minutes, I need this in this many minutes, and this plate's ready to go, and you kind of send it off. But you're not like high up on the chain or anything like that, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a hell of a title, though. The expediter.
It's a fun job. It doesn't make as much money as serving tables, unfortunately, but it's a fun job.
It's got shorter hours usually too. Yeah.
Yeah.
No side work.
We all need to come up with titles for ourselves, like, the demonstrator,
the expediter. Yeah. Jason Statham is
the expediter. Yeah. Garth Ennis, who created The Boys, did come up with this, like a bunch of other ridiculous characters. Like one's called Dog Welder, which is what you think it is, and there is one called the Demonstrator that looks like Arnie and basically just throws people through windows. That's all he does every time. Just grabs them, and throws them through windows.
That's excellent.
We need him at like corporate meetings. Things interesting.
Interesting. Nah, take him out the window.
Yeah. Larry, can you demonstrate this motherfucker? Thanks.
Yeah. Go.
Exactly.
Are you watching The Boys, by the way? Anybody?
Yes.
I have been. I haven't started the new
latest
series yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm caught up as far as I know.
So disturbing.
It's kind of okay. I was gonna say it's gone off the rails, but this bitch been
it started off the rails. Was
it ever on rails? I don't believe so. Yeah.
No.
Every time we think about watching it, I have like a kind of a low-key anxiety feeling, because it's that sort of, I want to watch this, I enjoy it, but God, it makes me uneasy.
Yeah, it's so bloody, and this season is, I don't know. Again, I want to say it's bloodier than average, but probably isn't. It's probably
some ridiculous, horrible things happen. No, we should have started watching it. Hang on, what day is it? Sunday night. But instead, I persuaded my wife to watch the Master and Commander film.
Slightly different vibes. Slightly different.
Yeah.
And,
I've got a problem. I know I've got a problem. There are only so many books left before I start reading them again from the beginning.
Go back.
The trailer for Gladiator 2 came out today, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I've seen that.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's a good trailer, but I feel like it shows you the final fight in the trailer.
Yes.
Which is
it's true. Trailers do that a lot lately. Like it gives you the entire movie.
Yeah, it shows you all the good parts before
you
go see it.
Well,
And
the
then they do
trailer's
some
2 hours.
TV now. They do they're coming up, and then they'll just show you everything that's coming up in the program you're about to sit and watch,
Yeah.
Like,
which
Yeah.
like,
I always find a little bit.
like microdosing it.
Yeah. Previously on Gladiator, and like, oh right,
Yeah.
okay. So now we know why he's there and what he does for him. What's
This actually, the trailer kind of does that, actually, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I want to know how they've tied it back to the original?
No,
I didn't think
trailer.
they were going to, but they do really well, I thought.
Really?
It's basically
Somehow Maximus returned.
Somehow Maximus
It
returned.
worked for Star Wars, all right?
You know, the
Did
woman, like the sister of the emperor, who has a kid that the Commodus is threatening her kid.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's the kid. The kid is the grown up, and he's the gladiator. He's the main character. So pretty good.
Interesting.
yeah,
that'll do it.
Connie Nielsen's in it again. Like must be 20 years on now or something since the first one.
about that.
Yeah, it's 2000 the first, so it's 24 years. My God.
Yeah. Shit.
Ouch.
Okay, yeah. So she's in it again,
Seems
and
like
she
only
still looks
yesterday.
good. So.
God, that's enough for 1,000-yard stare. That is.
Mhm.
Yeah, that ouch.
I mean,
And MJ was about 5 when
old.
that came out.
Wait, what?
You were about 5 years old when that came out, weren't you?
I was 8. Well, yeah. Single digits still, yeah.
Yeah, me and Dave are like, oh, that isn't frosting in my hair. That's something
Like,
else.
my daughter is 8 now, and maybe I should go and wake her up and show her Gladiator. That's the message.
Yeah,
I'm
there you
taking
go.
from this.
Time. Just
The
get the
rite of
shit out of
passage,
it.
Yeah.
evidently.
If MJ turned out this awesome, then clearly that's something
Yeah.
important.
There you
All
go.
because of Gladiator.
The
Yeah,
system
at 8
works.
years old specifically, not 9, not 7, 8 years old.
It has to be this
Wait.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. That means, hang on, when the first Lord of the Rings film came out, I don't even want to finish the sentence. Oh, God.
What
Yeah,
year did
I
the
was
first
9.
Lord of the Rings?
Did you watch it
MJ.
Yeah.
then?
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe then I'll show her the Lord of the Rings films.
Yeah. Oh, fun fact about the Lord of the Rings films. So my nieces are 3 and 5, and they love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
They've
There you
seen all the
go.
films. They're obsessed. They're fearless. They like.
Wow.
I tried to like when it was the scene with the Balrog. I was like playing scared, and my oldest niece, when she was like 4, she was like, "Aunt
Bitch,
Mal,
please."
it's not real."
My daughter. Oh,
sorry.
my
Wow.
Yeah.
How old is
Yeah.
she? How old is this punk now? My 11-year-old. We took her to see Inside Out 2.
Oh.
And there's a scene at the end with anxiety, and it was just so realistic that I was like, me and my husband were in the theater like sobbing very quietly, like, oh God, this is awful, that poor child. And I told Addison about it after the fact, and she's like, I didn't cry because it's a movie and I know it's not real. It's like, okay, kid.
Because life hasn't hurt you yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Just do it.
yeah, when I asked
Well-
her about it, and she has some anxiety sometimes, but it's like she was describing how it's different. I was like, oh, my kid has self-worth. That's amazing. I broke the cycle. This is beautiful.
Wow.
Parenting win.
Yeah, how did you do that?
I don't know.
Damn it.
I don't know. I can't.
I
give
was
a
hoping you could
crap,
like
I'm sorry.
email me or something.
Yeah, no,
You have to show them Master and Commander when they're 2 years old.
I assume.
no, I
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Belay.
just work your way up to like The Exorcist in a few years' time.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
So,
I've
does
got,
your niece
like-
does your niece believe in Santa Claus but not the Balrog?
Really
Like-
good question. Because yeah, she does believe in Santa Claus. But to
Okay.
be fair, I would be, if we're thinking logically, Santa Claus is objectively a little creepier than the Balrog because he enters
He
your
sneaks
home
into your house.
on the
Yeah.
sly in the middle of
Yeah.
the night and gives
That's a home
presents to
invasion.
little children. I believe
Yeah.
we call that grooming.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a federal crime.
Then he steals your food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he steals your
He
food.
drinks yo
Your
milk.
food.
Breaking and
Mhm,
entering.
a little
Drinks
creepy.
whiskey.
Just saying.
Leaves you little presents.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a weird little tradition we have going here, but
Yeah.
yeah, I never said it was logical how her little brain works, but it's fantastic, and it's been great for my sister and brother-in-law because you know how kids will want to watch the same movie over and over and
Yeah.
over again instead of having to watch some Disney movie or whatever
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
over and over again. They get to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy over and over and over again.
That's just 12 hours.
Best
Yeah,
game
it gives them
ever.
a little
Yeah.
Extended
more
admission.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need a babysitter.
Right. Just start with Fellowship. We'll be back from dinner later. No.
Yeah.
In 2 days' time, we'll be back.
We're going to Cancun. Watch the special features.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
There is something in this. I should be taking notes here.
Yeah. Take it from 2 people that don't have kids.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Parenting. How hard can it be?
Yeah.
No, it's easy. People just complain a lot.
Yeah. It's because we have no hope left. Is why
Yeah.
we complain.
There's a new
All
hope came
the
out in
light-
1977, 2025. No hope.
No
Sorry.
hope.
No.
Yeah.
They need to
No,
hold
there's
us them. No
Two
hope.
parasites
All the
live in my
light
house.
that used to
and
live
just
behind our eyes
suck all
has
the joy.
died
Yeah.
from
We have an actual
negotiating
writing
with a
question from someone.
4-year-old. Oh shit!
Oh, look at that! Paul, bringing us back. I love
How
it.
dare you, Paul?
Yeah.
I did ask, but I didn't think anyone would actually bother. But there we go.
Most inconvenient time. Hmm.
Anyone had any
Literally
shower?
all the time.
Yeah, it's just not a
like,
weird sex question. It's fine. It's I said
not
it's not.
yet.
Right. Or is
Like
it?
in the shower, like someone might have a pad in the shower, perhaps. You want to write something down. And then
Oh,
pen.
that's what the pads
Yeah.
are.
I
Careful,
know now.
careful.
Following, I'm following.
Just write it in the
Following.
steam.
I just got as a gift a waterproof shower notepad that comes with a little pen, and it's like little
Yeah.
sticky
Whoa.
notes that are waterproof. Yeah,
Nice.
See?
because I
That
have
is-
had to get out of the shower like mid-shower more than
We're like,
once,
need pen and paper, need some paper.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
or like drying off my hands feverishly and reaching out of the shower to like tap on my notes app, right? Like
Right.
So
Screaming
embarrassed.
to Alexa in the next room.
maybe I need to invest in one.
Yeah.
Yup.
Hey, well, what you'll get back will not be what you said.
And also, Steve Bezos will own your book, or Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Middle of the night,
For me,
usually. I've had some weird, like middle of the night kind of, oh, that's brilliant. I go back to sleep in the morning, wake up and go, what was that thing?
What was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
you find the note that you wrote yourself that made absolute perfect sense. Like I've got to remember to put enough detail so I'll know exactly
yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
And it'll just be like, aha, under question mark.
Mine says something just like hamster and a drawing of a house.
Yeah, perfect. It's your next best
What is
seller.
that? I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. What does that
Yeah.
mean? No one
It-
knows.
It is an interesting question though, because I do think, like, obviously, shower and walking, like going for a walk, they occupy your body, for want of a better word, and you
Yeah.
can't be doing anything else. Like you can't. I mean, well, you listen to sort of podcasts and audiobooks and things while you're walking, I suppose, but that kind of just having stuff turning over in your brain while you're, waiting for the kettle to boil or something like that, and then, oh my god, that solves it,
Yeah.
and inevitably you've got nothing to write it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me that's driving. And I used to live
Ah.
somewhat rurally, so it was like 25-minute drive to the grocery store. So like if I was pissed off about my book, I'd be like, I'm going to the grocery store. I'm out of here. And I'd go, yeah. I would
I
get
don't
in
need
my
anything. I'm
truck
going
and-
anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I need to fix my book. I'll find something when I get there. And then I would go and I would drive and I would like sulk for the first 10 minutes, and then about halfway there I'd be like, oh wait, I think I've got something. So I'd be in the grocery store hunched over, like texting anybody so that I could write it down for posterity of like, okay, I know how to solve it. And where's
make
the
no sense, but
onions?
send
I
it back to me
don't know.
later.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then I would drive home and I would fix my book and I would feel better for about a week. And then I would get stuck again. Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody else? Anything? Any strange moments where you've had a eureka kind of thing?
I've just not had very many eureka moments, I suspect. Yeah. When they always say like you've got to write the bad ideas and then you can get to the good ones after it. So I'm still very much at point one. Like the first idea, that'll do. Smash it out. I can do 90,000 words on that.
Yeah. I think my last big eureka moment was the Bitch River Gang. Thank you, MJ. Yeah. It's like-
Gang. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I like to
informed
think they
like
wear
half,
pinstripes.
half of that book. Yeah, of course they do.
Mhm.
Well, the other day, or yesterday, I guess it was, I found a Word document that was entitled Scheming, Dreaming, Screaming, Mad. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I opened it up, and those were the only words written in the document. And so obviously, like, I wrote it, but I am worried about that, Nick. Whatever fuck he wrote that. I don't know.
Dreaming, Nick.
I don't know what it means. I don't know why.
Sleepwalking, sleep typing, and just
scheming. And I opened a new document.
Like when you did it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it probably says like 4 a.m.
Oh yeah, okay, that'll do it.
Yeah. Like literally crying.
It does sound like the opening of perhaps the midpoint of a thriller where somebody keeps finding documents.
Yeah, like random.
So this could be the origin.
You're
of
in a thriller. You're in a thriller novel. I'm sorry to tell you.
You're not writing one. You're the character.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
Who is writing all this stuff? I'm the only person.
Ever since I moved into this old abandoned motel, things have been a bit, weird.
It was built on an old Apache burial ground.
All play and no work, as it were.
Yeah.
And that's how Ben Galley got his revenge for that dark game.
Yeah.
He slowly drove you insane.
Yeah. Beat me a dancing bastard. I'll drive you with that. Bless him. He's a reasonable guy.
He's coming as well.
It's quite nice. Yeah.
We'll see Ben as well.
Nice.
He'll be here soon.
Yeah,
Ben, if you can hear, you're a reasonable guy.
I feel like it's another one of those things that's kind of an insult once you translate it.
I feel like I'm starting to feel like British and like Southern American, that like
it's a similar,
right? Like I feel like the
passive aggressive.
What I'm describing here.
Yeah, we have whole levels of niceness. There's a Twitter thing called Very British Problems, and on Twitter and Instagram, and explains like what we say and then what we mean on various phrases. And it's very useful for tourists. I think it should actually look at it. You'd be like, "Oh, that was really nice." And we're all there going like,
"You're like,
that's not what I said."
They're all so polite there. Yeah, that's
passive aggressively.
We all hated you.
Yeah,
it used to be best regards. Now it's just regards.
Regards.
It drops to just regards after that.
Oof,
or then thanks. Like,
but THX. You don't even write thanks properly. You've just gone down to THX. That is like next level.
Or that's like the as per my last email.
Oh, see, now I'm an expert in speaking corporate, bitch. Yeah, I'm very fluent. Many years of experience. Yeah, my favorite is this is how I'm too friendly. If I'm really mad at you, I won't close off my email with "Have a great day." It'll just be "Have a good day." Good one. Or if I'm really mad, it's just "Have a good morning." Like the rest of your day.
The whole day, you just get a morning.
Oh wow! Yeah. At midday, you are going to get a stroke.
Yeah.
Be hit by a bus in the afternoon.
Terrible in the afternoon, but you can have a good morning.
Yeah. Enjoy your morning.
Now I'm scared. Okay, now I'm scared that I've accidentally insulted a lot of people because I sign off all my emails with just K instead of writing out my whole name.
Oh my god, I was literally just gonna say, people, okay, if you sign off a text with just K, either you're pissed off or you're the same generation as like my parents, because my mom does that all the time. You're younger than my parents though, Krystle, so you're just an old soul maybe.
Okay,
but yeah, because it stresses me out. Yeah, don't do that to me though, please. I will cry.
Well, but I put it like after the sign off instead of my name, so like I feel like
and you're signing
just an initial
for your name.
Okay.
That doesn't count.
Hopefully,
my mom will literally just answer a question I've asked with K, or like the boomer thing where they do ... in terms of like just for no reason.
Why is there
I always
so
read
many,
it as like super passive aggressive. I'm like, what did I do? Yeah.
But I don't know if anyone's played Final Fantasy VII, the original version, recently. By recently, I of course mean in the last 15 years.
In any capacity that you can still remember it.
But there's huge amounts of that where no one says anything, and the speech is just ... and it'll be like ... Are you okay, Cloud?
Pensive silence. ...
Yeah, and it is like this person is not speaking. But if you don't know what it means, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Is this been in code? Is it Morse code? What's 3 dots? Is that E? No, S. It's S.
Like,
S.
they're all
Yeah.
snakes.
Yeah.
We've cracked the code, Dave.
That's what it
But
is.
I learned from a podcast for old people recently that if you put a full stop at the end of a text message, then anyone who's a millennial or a Zoomer will think you're extremely angry with them.
Apparently.
Full stop? Oh, I do a full stop
Yeah.
all the time.
Like a period.
But at the end,
Yeah.
like the final, a period.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I do proper punctuation, but like my least favorite is when it's the ellipses at the end. That's when I feel
the
like
ellipses is passive.
they're mad at me. Where like I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'll be there at 7. And you know, my mom will just be like, okay, ... And I'm like, I read that in my head as like, okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Don't you get that as a sense of mystery? Like,
No.
oh,
Okay.
there's more to come. It's to be continued,
that's how
right?
she means it. I read it as
Okay, dun
you
dun
have
dun.
made me irrevocably angry.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, my neighbor used to do it like back when I was living rurally.
Maybe we should
so,
start
like my neighbor.
throwing it in books.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I
But
do.
he would do it like he had a tractor, so he would snowplow our driveway for us. And so he would be like, "What are you up to?" ... I'm like, I don't know. Is this about to be a threat?
right,
didn't
that's what I was gonna say.
see
Do I need an
anything
alibi?
else for- yeah, I can see he was also OPP. So it's like, I'm not sure. And he's like, are you going to be around at 9 p.m. tonight? ... It's like, I think so. Like every single time.
Because
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
No, I'm gonna be home and I'll be cataloging my gun and knife collection at that time. It's extensive.
with my back to a
Why do you
wall.
ask?
I'll make sure I have all my permits by then. I guess. Yeah. So the ... It's like, I don't know what. It's a whole generation, and it's a problem.
That's so
It's
weird.
like
I
ancillary
feel like I use it. I
punctuation.
feel like I use it a lot, but not
Uh-oh.
when I could use a question mark. You know, if it's supposed to be a question mark, I'll put a question mark. But it's more just like, I don't know. I'll find. If I've written to any of you, I suspect I've used them. I don't know.
Ellipses in emails is normal though, because the alternative is nothing but exclamation marks, because you don't want to come off as too dour.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, especially,
I will.
Chocoholic in the comments. Yeah, that's what
yeah.
you do.
I was
How are you
gonna-
seeing
I was gonna-
comments? Wait.
It's all exclamation points because you want to appear friendly and approachable.
Yeah.
And then you
And
read
then-
through carefully and replace 1 or 2 of them with periods so
About
you don't
half.
look like a
Yeah.
psycho.
you
Yeah,
don't
about
want to
half.
seem mad, right?
And I'm like, I feel like if I put an exclamation point on that sentence, I sound angry. So I'm going to move it to this sentence after. That is a reasonable thing to sound excited about.
Yeah, it's a sort of sliding block puzzle by the end of it, of just like 5 exclamation marks, 2 full stops, and then mix it up in ellipses.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, I don't.
You know, to suggest there's so much more to come.
Wink
This
emoji.
incredible email about a delay to your publishing schedule.
When did communication
Ouch.
become so difficult? just saying what we mean to people.
Well, you know what, Steve? I don't know if I mentioned this, but I've been reading some Aubrey Maturin books recently.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. Very good.
All right.
All right.
But it's the letter writing in that. The fact that these guys could be away at sea for 6 months, 9 months. They get shipwrecked. They get kidnapped. They get, locked in a Spanish prison for a year and a half. And then they come out and the guy's like, well, I must write to my wife and tell her what's happened. And then she doesn't get the letter for another 3 years. They're like, he gets the post delivered from another passing boat and he's got like 16 months worth of letters. He's like, well, I better read them in order. I don't want to spoil anything.
Spoilers, skip to the end.
Yeah.
Real life
Nope.
spoilers.
Yeah, it's such a peculiar thing.
The baby's feeling poorly today. You're like, what baby? What baby?
Yes. I mean, that literally happens at one point.
The last letter is a death certificate from someone. You want to work your way through to get to that. You can't just.
Well,
jump to the end.
there is the element of like the sea captain doing the sums of like, I left. When did I leave? And this day's date. I think we're okay. I think we're okay.
Baby.
Yeah, these books are quite good. I mean, if you like boats,
Or ships.
No,
never going to
no,
let it go. I don't think there's really any difference between boats and ships. Don't write in and say that's wrong.
Of course.
I feel like there's like a comfort in reading someone, like he obviously knows his stuff. And when you're reading someone that's like, you're completely confident that every book's going to be good. Every book's you kind of know what to expect. And the person just knows what they're talking about. I feel like that way when I read Christian Cameron writes a lot of like, all kinds of historical fiction books, but like his ancient Greek books, it's just like, you're just there. And it's like he was there, and it's just you just know what you're going to get, and it's just solid every single time.
You can switch off a whole part of your brain that would be kind of going like, oh yeah, but really, you know, that sort of when you get sent like an arc to read, and you kind of
that happens when you talk to him as well. Your brain just switches off, and you're just like,
like, I trust you. You can take me on this journey.
Yeah,
like, he's done the Pilgrim Trail across Spain in full set of armor. He knows what it's like. He's done it himself.
He could tell you any old shit. He could just be making stuff up and giggling to himself, and you just be like,
I am fully aware that there's probably like a 50-50 chance that any of the stories that he told me were bullshit, but I don't care. They're true. Christian Cameron told me. Christian Cameron told me about that time.
They're into
he's a wise man.
But even though, like, if you're reading if you're reading those Patrick O'Brian books, like one of them could be bad and I wouldn't know. I'm not even assessing it anymore. Like, because again, like, the bloody Kindle, it gets to the end, it's like, how would you rate this book? And like, I'm gonna rate it. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to let
like, who am I?
Regency English wash over me. And talk about larboard and starboard and splicing main braces and gluing up and all of the other stuff where you long press and it's like, I bet that's a type of sail. Oh yeah, it's a type of sail. Cool. Gone immediately.
In one ear and out the other. So just like how to obtain the information.
Oh, it's a good question.
I mean, Christian Cameron is the god of the universe, isn't he?
Christian Cameron is the god of all of our worlds. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes, I wouldn't say everyone, even people that have been doing it for years, at least this is my personal opinion, that you just totally feel 100% comfortable in what they're doing. But some people just have that when they're writing. I would feel like Adrian Tchaikovsky's kind of like that, where you're just like, I'm not, like you said, David, like I'm not here to judge, because who am I to do that?
You're operating up there with total authority and total competence, and I'm just some guy reading your book, and I'm grateful. But you do, it's nice to be able to sort of deactivate that, like I'm not sure you've thought this through part of your brain, where sometimes you read a book and it's sort of, there's a high concept and you're like, oh, this sounds really cool, and then you're part of the way through and you're part in your brain's just at the back just going like, but what about, but what about, and you're like,
and like, to answer the question, sometimes there are details, like, even if I accept the premise that the author is the god of the world and it follows whatever logic that they decided for the world, there are some details that will throw me out so bad that I now doubt everything, all of the, like, if they've done any research on these things that I previously trusted. Like, a big pet peeve for me is, especially in fantasy, writers who clearly have never spoken to a farmer about farm animals a day in their lives. And they say, they're really boring goats that never do anything. It's like, oh, okay, all right, you've never met a goat,
right? That's not goats. Goats are like the jesters of the farm.
Oh man, they were an animal that I refuse to consider because they're so hard to take care of. And so when you hit that, or when I hit that, in a book, it's like, oh, okay, all right. What else did you try to tell me? That was complete bullshit that you never asked anybody else. And so for me, as the god of the world, like, I'm sure in theory I'm the god of the world that I wrote, but I'm not the god of this world. And there happens to be a lot of overlap, and you have to be careful about, like, where you're asking people to believe you.
And
once you blow your credibility on something that overlaps, depending on the reader, like my husband doesn't care. He won't care. He'll keep reading. But
Yeah.
for me, it's like, yeah, no, bullshit. I'm done. I'm out.
The suspension of disbelief is gone, isn't it?
Yes,
Like
exactly.
you're pulled out of the world by something you know doesn't work. And unless you're one of the gun weirdos, which, you know.
Yeah. None of it works.
Like, yeah. Who has ever seen a gun in real life? Literally nobody. Come on.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
No. But someone's always going to be an expert in something better than you, connected to our world. So you've got to try and do the homework.
Yeah, that's it. It's like there's things that you could check pretty easily. Especially, I find I'm more forgiving of it in older books that it's like they didn't have Google. Like this would have been a process. Yeah, but like, you know, how hard would it have been to like check I don't know, a Facebook group talking about fucking goats, like these little demons.
Or just
like,
Google goats.
What does wet bones smell like? I wouldn't know. Let's find out.
If RJ can go to the trouble.
Wet bone aficionado. Oh no, that group's about something else. Oh god.
Oh no. Wrong Facebook group. Oh god.
I'm on the list.
Critical error.
Help. I have to delete my account and leave the country.
Sorry.
Bengali.
Well, I'm sure sci-fi writers probably get it all the time about space. You know?
Especially as we know more and more. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was I read it. I cut it from Spiffbo last year.
Ooh.
So there you go. You can go on before we go.
Well, in disrespecting goats, you're on a list now.
Yeah. I won't say who, but fuck you, Stephen Erickson.
I do. I hope this is something that a good copy editor catches, because part of me, like, I completely understand, you know, join a goat fanciers Facebook group and then spend like 6 months learning the ins and outs of goat husbandry, and be like, are they jesters of the farmyard? I thought they were just dickheads. But,
they are actually just dickheads.
They are. They're serious dickheads. But I don't trust anything with letterbox eyes. Come on. But there is also that problem of kind of, you know, I've got 25 minutes to write this book, and you're halfway through a sentence, and you're like, what color is that? And then you're going in, and suddenly, and 4 hours pass, and you come back, and you're like, red. And it's
no, my biggest research rabbit holes are always something like that, just like
for one line
sentence.
Like, I could put red. Like, I'll go and check, and you're there forever, and you come back, and it is, and the wet bone smells of nothing in particular. It's like that whole takes you back to where you were. So that's what I want from a copy editor. I want a copy editor to go, that is not part of a boat. That's not even part of a ship. And did you know that a ship is different from a boat? And like, oh, no, I did not copy it. Thank you.
Right. Shout out Saga Press copy editors.
My most
I just
like,
love
instead of the ones that take out all of your semicolons. No.
Also that.
my most like some things I Google where it's like people who know me where they're like, yeah, that tracks. That's a thing that you want to know. But the weirdest thing that I did for Brightwash was there's a line in it where the main character talks about like the weight of his badge, like his tin police badge. It's like I traded my soul and all I got from it was blank blank mumble mumble ounces of tin. And I actually don't remember what the line is, but and I was like, oh, how much does a police badge weigh?
5 kilos, 6 kilos.
It took me half the day because I had to do math.
No.
Book math.
Fuck math. This is not my strong suit. And it was just like, you know, so it's like if a badge is, you know, this dimension and this thickness and tin, like a square inch of tin weighs this many ounces. And I've never willingly done math in my life. But that line is so good, it was worth it. 2 ounces. Thank you, Connor. The line is 2 ounces.
Just 2 ounces.
That's how memorable the line was.
I might have just gone with like a fistful of tin and skipped the maths, but
no, it was a really powerful moment. It had to be an accurate
Well,
Spirit
I
waste.
told MJ this the other day, but in book 3, I had to work out if someone can get a ship from one place to another in the 13th century. It took me 4 hours to find the answer
Oh yeah.
for about 2 lines.
Yeah,
There's
it's always
a
for a
web
while.
page for like tracking. I think it's Roman era, but that guy's travel time over distance. And sort
Yeah.
of, if you were to start in any major European city, how long would it take you to get to this one? And always the most
Yeah.
revealing part of it is if it's by sea, much faster than if it's by land. Like,
Yeah.
again, because it always used to sort of, boats, they're so slow. Why don't they just take the motorway? Like, yeah, it turns out in
Yeah, it turns out used to be they
200
didn't have the
AD.
motorway.
No freeways. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
they had 1
Oh, and
horsepower.
yeah.
1 horsepower engines.
Maybe 2 if it was a wide carriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It keeps wanting to be fed. Oh, unbelievable.
Wants to stop, wants to rest, and you know.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah. Also, like the concept of roads. It's nothing like taking the dog for a walk in the middle of winter and just going, this is rubbish. And then being
Yeah.
like, before we had
You
paving.
have winter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It just rains more.
Oh, okay.
Last question from Paul.
Oh, that's a good
Oh,
one.
definitely the author.
Can you be surprised by someone else's
Interpretation
every time.
of your work.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I bring my baggage with me to the book and I drop it off and I walk away. And then everybody who reads it brings different baggage. And sometimes that interacts really well. And the clothing and the baggage happens to match and we both look really great. But sometimes it turns out some people hate my baggage. And then they're like, and I, you know, we have to try really hard not to take that personally. It's like,
Well, it's fine that those people are wrong, though.
literally everything. Yeah. That helps.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just,
yeah,
keep that in mind.
anything.
It makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
They can read whatever they want into it, which is
But-
like the scariest thing. I always kind of envision it as like a 2-step thing, right? Like the creation
Yeah.
of the book is like one
It's only
artistic
half.
process.
Yeah.
But then like the
Yeah.
commingling of my brain and your brain as the reader
Yeah.
that happens later without
Yeah.
my control that like creates a whole new piece of art inside each reader's
Yeah.
head. Some of it turns out great and some
Yeah.
of it turns out they hate me as a human.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
So that's less fun, but you know, it's still a valid way to interpret art. It works.
Like Nick, you've got
Or
very specific things in your book that are tied to very specific things in music. So like there's misinterpretation and then it's just not getting it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've had people say, hey, is this a reference to this? Is this a reference to this? And I was like, sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gold
Genius.
star, buddy. You
Yeah.
did a great job.
And
Yeah.
yes.
But like MJ said, I've also got people out there, like I can think of one woman in particular that thinks I am the most
Oh yeah.
misogynistic, homophobic, racist bigot ever to walk the planet Earth. And I'm just like, I am so sorry you feel that way.
Right? Like you got
And
stuff
there's
out of that
nothing you
book
can do
that
about
was
it.
not written in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people bring their own perceptions to it.
I'm
Yeah.
completely down. Like death of the author, personal interpretation, like you said, the brain soup as well. Yep, is all.
It all
Like,
comes
but-
back to soup today,
Brain
guys.
soup.
It is.
Soup.
It's a bread bucket with a brain soup that's solid.
And that's how
But when
books are made.
when people just read it wrong, I'm not kidding. If they've
Yeah.
missed words, they've skim read a paragraph, they've just that. I
skip
find
those
you know
chapters. Yeah.
you're
I didn't
well
like that
you're well
character, so I skipped his chapters.
conversations. I know there are people who are like, I don't read what is it, prologues, and I don't read epilogues because they're not part of the book. Like, do you also not
That's
read chapter
baffling.
1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. I don't watch the first episode of any TV show.
Yeah. I don't watch the
Episode 2.
pilot because they haven't planned the whole thing yet. Yeah.
My wife tells a charming story. I mean, again, this will mean nothing to MJ, but do you remember when, in the early days of DVDs, when some of them were two-sided?
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So my wife started to watch, I'm going to say something like Reservoir Dogs. Put it in.
Oh,
Her and her
on the wrong side.
flatmates.
Oh my
And they're
god.
like, wow, this really just drops you in it, doesn't it? Man, it's quite hard to follow. And then it gets, of course, to the end, and they're like, "Oh, that's weird. That's way shorter than we thought it would be." Eject. Part 1, Oh, right. So then they watch the first half. I'm like, yeah, it kind of makes more sense now.
Now that I know
They
that
just
context.
accidentally Tarantino'd the whole movie that was already Tarantino.
Yes, which makes me think it probably wasn't Reservoir Dogs they watched. But in my head, it's now Reservoir Dogs. Again, death of the author. She told me the anecdote. I've already forgotten. I'm making something else up I prefer. That's writing, baby.
That's publishing.
When people just get it wrong, then I've got no sympathy. Like, have your own interpretations, have your own thoughts, have your own, your own ideas. Like you say, bringing the baggage and saying like, oh wow, this chimed with me so deeply. This secondary character, like I lived that life, I lived something like that life, and it can be that's amazing, that's brilliant. But then, when they come back to you with something that's just out and out nonsense, that's not the book I wrote, and I don't know how you read that. But good luck to you. I have no comments to make at this time.
The one that rolls most easily off me is where it's like, I hated this book because it's paced like a season of TV instead of like a movie, and I'm like, yeah, it's paced like that because I intentionally did that.
Yeah,
so I wrote it like that.
Cool. Have fun.
But see, those are the kind of bad reviews, though. Krystle, those are the kind of bad reviews that can sell a book. Because if someone's reading that review and they go, "Oh, that sounds dope," actually, then it's going to steer it towards the readers that will love
that's
it.
Why
I
say
kind of love when I get bad reviews that are like that.
Yeah, that's why I say like those are the ones that roll most easily off me, because it's like I was never actually going to write the book that you wanted.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah,
we are not aligned.
Well, say like it was full of world building. It was really slow. It was all about the characters, and someone else be like, "Well, that sounds ideal to me."
Right? Like perfect. I'm in for that.
Like, awesome. You're like, "Oh, okay." So when they
that's
say
the example I give all the time. I read Six of Crows literally because I saw a 1-star review that said, "There's no good guys in this book," and I was like, "Let's go!"
One of the funniest reviews I've ever seen was for Fondelee's Jade City. And this person was like, I don't know if you've ever heard me talk about this one before. It's baffling. They were like, I don't understand when this takes place. There's cars and televisions, but no cell phones. In what world is this happening? And someone had to tell this person that there was 70 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say whoever wrote that review must be younger than me, even.
My favorite one of Interview the Vampire fairly recently from someone that said this book sucks. It was really slow. They just talk all the time, and none of the vampires sparkle. She just copied and done it badly from Twilight. That's just kind of like, you go back to school and tell your mummy and daddy that you've outgrown past your bedtime, and you were born after the millennium. That's what you're telling me. So.
Stuff like that terrifies me because it always makes me think like, how much when I was that age, how much was I getting horribly wrong?
All of us were morons when we were young. Come on, man.
We have Goodreads to tell everybody how stupid we were.
Well, I feel like hopefully I'm just a moron in new ways now. I'll discover all the ways in which I'm dumb later.
Like Madonna, I'm constantly reinventing my new moronity.
Exactly.
I'm a moron, but fortunately, I know not to post those things on the internet.
I am now a secret moron.
I delete those tweets.
And you go, oh, okay, I knew that.
They do say
go ahead.
Well, just a group chat is now like the answer to so many of modern life's problems. It's like if you've got a group chat where you can just sort of go, and everyone can go, no. And that's it. Like before you go outside and just do it all over the internet where it's forever and everyone can see it.
I'm glad I grew up in an era without social media or the internet. So I can make mistakes and I didn't have to see it everywhere forever.
But I hope no one's got one of those like temporary cameras on the night out, or they might take 21 photos at some point, some of which might even be in focus.
Go to Target, get them developed.
What if they get them developed and one of them turns out to be not lost behind somebody's chest of drawers?
Those were the good old days. You had
Big
time to
column.
find somebody and kill them before they could develop the photos. Nowadays, you've got no time. They've already posted
It's
it.
on
It's
Instagram.
really
It's
very
live
difficult.
streamed.
They've
Yeah.
live streamed you killing them, and it's just
Yeah.
really inconvenient.
Just a mess.
Yeah.
Technology.
You know, you can
rampant
spoof your
like
IP all you
wild.
want. They'll still
Yeah.
find you. It's just,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know.
it's fine. Just wearing a Bengali mask while you do it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Get
Dick,
your
you were going to
revenge.
say something before we got onto murder and putting it on Ben.
No, I think we were talking about bringing your own interpretation of things to books. And I remember when I was younger, I think maybe before I sprouted my first chest hair, reading a book with the main character who had a beard and was just like, what is this? How old is this guy? Like, this is ridiculous. I don't want to read about a main character with a beard.
Old
Yeah,
enough to have a beard.
I
So
just
old.
hated it the whole time. Every time it mentioned the beard, I was like, ugh,
Yeah.
disgusting.
Was it like the beard is so itchy, and I wanted to stop.
Yeah. I mean, this was probably before 2010 when beards, came back.
Yeah,
But
God, I'm
Came back
hipsters.
here.
They're functioning beards.
Okay, I think we've run out of things to say.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call it a
Are
day.
you sure though?
Not
we
really,
didn't
no.
start
because
with things to
Won't
say.
go forever,
No.
but yeah.
I think I need more beer, and the rest of you need to catch up because it's late.
Yeah.
But when we're all in similar time zones, most of us.
Yeah.
Sorry, MJ. But
Yeah.
next year, we can
Well,
we can resume our talk. of
MJ's telepresence Roomba. I think.
Sorry,
that's the
yeah,
key.
yeah. Strap to Adrian's
Exactly.
chest. We'll talk to you there.
Yeah.
And just
I'm sure that won't wind him up at all if everyone's constantly talking to his chest. My eyes
fine.
are up here. Yeah.
it's
Poor
fine.
Adrian. He gets that all the time as it is.
I know.
Especially
Poor
when
guy.
those of you that are so tall are like bending down past
Uh,
Right.
good point.
space to look at.
Just
like talking to a small child. Like,
Of course, if
"Hello,
I
are you
would
having
know
a
it
nice
would be
time?"
about representative of my actual height if the iPad.
Yeah, there you go.
You seem much bigger on TV.
Yeah, we'll stick MJ on Steven, and it'll be like everyone's
There
looking at
we
his
go.
crotch.
Oh, she's so tall, and next year it's like, oh, she's like half the height we thought she was going to be. What's going on?
Yeah. She's further away.
Small,
Absolutely in the
far
distance.
away. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
It's like the
Right.
Hobbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the forced perspective that they did for the first movies. Yeah.
That's the trick.
Yes.
That's the trick.
This
Yeah.
is it. Anyway, well, thank you all for joining me for absolutely nothing,
Whatever.
for no reason
Celebrate the
whatsoever.
release of the
Sorry,
Blood
yeah.
Demon Tide.
Yes.
Everybody out there,
Yes.
go get it.
Yeah.
It's
Congratulations.
fantastic. It's so good.
Blood
If you
Demon Tide's
don't
out
know-
today.
The Blood
It's a
Demon
special
Tide.
edition.
First one.
Read the
That's
Judas
the one.
Look at the
Platinum.
first one.
So
Book one, that's
good.
book two.
And-
Well done. It's done. Yeah, book 3 is written. It's already written. So if I get hit by a bus, you're okay. It's still
It's
coming
done,
out.
yeah. Yeah. Problem
It's had
solved.
one major edit as well, so it's pretty much done. you
It's
know.
fine.
nice.
It's great.
It'll wrap up. It's no worries. It's
Yeah.
no worries. Anyway, thank you everyone. Thanks everyone in the comments for coming along and listening to us talk
Yeah,
about.
thanks, everyone who-
absolutely
Thank you to the
nothing.
thousands of viewers.
Yeah.
Do you say that
Great.
every time for every live
Yeah.
stream? Or
Maybe.
thousands of viewers?
All right.
I'm gonna
We're
start
gonna
saying
go,
that.
but we'll just keep
Okay,
talking. Goodbye, everyone.